I love being outside. I feel so alive. The sunshine, the birds talking, creation. I can't do a lot of what I used to do, but there's still a lot I can do. And I have wonderful neighbors. They're also part of my God-given family. And a lot of what I can't do, they're more than willing to do for me. They allow me enough grace to say, if I want to try something, try it. If it doesn't work, then they'll take over. It's a true blessing. When I was 15, I was a gymnast and I fell on the balance beam. And that's when we found out that my spine was not fused at one level. So I had my first fusion when I was 15. And it's just been a process ever since. Our spine is a very important part, obviously, of our body. And it's designed that they're kind of like shock absorbers. So, you know, when something happens and it kind of like each one takes a little bit of the shock as it progresses down your spine. Well, when you take that bottom part and you make it solid, it can't do what it's supposed to do. So all the levels ahead of that take a lot more wear and tear. So it's now affecting my cervical spine. In 2011, I got very sick. I couldn't even take care of my own basic needs. And I was scared. I knew that if they didn't find some answers, I'd end up in a nursing home. And they diagnosed me with rheumatoid arthritis. So, you know, on top of all the pain that my back surgeries has caused, the RA is now my everyday friend too. And it was during that time that I was able to feel the presence of God in such a powerful way. As hard as it was, the pain and not being able to do anything for myself, I wasn't scared. I knew God was there. I knew God was going to make it all work out. One way or another, whether I stayed that way or not, it would be okay because He was there and He would get me through it. And I've always been a fighter. You know, I was determined, and sometimes my determination and stubbornness has caused me problems. I'm the type of person that I'll find a way around it. If I can't do something the normal way, I look at it as a challenge. Then let me find a way that I can do it. Because to live life in a bubble or to live life in a cave and not get out and do what I want to do or what I need to do, that's just not who I am. I grew up in a family that went to church holidays. My grandparents went to church a lot, my mom's parents. So when we'd be here in the summer, we would go to church with them. But my family was, you know, it was normal to me, but I realize now how dysfunctional it was. My father was abusive. My parents divorced when I was 13. My mom decided to remarry, and there wasn't room for my brother and I. So we were left behind. So it's like, okay, you know, that was a hard pill, a very hard pill. And I kind of figured, you know, since the family I grew up in, really love did not abound freely, I figured that's what I was missing. Well, I ended up just getting married. So I married a guy and had a baby at 17. Well, you know, the marriage didn't last. He was an alcoholic and he liked to slap around, and, you know, that it was another abusive situation. In 2004, my husband of almost 21 years decided he just didn't want to do it anymore. And so life came crashing down once again. And life was tough, very tough. And a friend of mine, Judy Detmer, was always inviting me to come to fellowship. So finally, it was just 10 years ago on Good Friday, I came for the first time. And there was just something about it. And it started to seem real. It started to seem like I could make this personal. So I started going to mending nets. And it was during that time in mending nets that I accepted Christ and realized for the first time in my life that I didn't have to be good enough and that my sins were forgiven and that I didn't have to remember them anymore. I didn't have to carry that baggage. And it just changed the whole way I looked at things. Life's all about choices. And bottom line, you can choose to be bitter, you can choose to be angry, you can choose to sit and feel sorry for yourself, or you can choose to find that new normal, whatever that may be. I can fret and I can worry, or I can say, okay, Lord, whatever comes my way today, use me. If I can bless someone in the midst of all of what's going on, then allow me that. Show me how you want me to be used today. I have so much to be thankful for, and I've been given more than I could possibly ever deserve. So each day, I want to be a light in this hurting world and find a way to be a blessing and ultimately bring Him the glory He deserves.